Okay, so let's start in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Play. Yeah, so welcome to this game between Thomas1 and DeinFreund. You can see here that DeinFreund started with hovercraft. That is one of my preferred choices on this map, and Thomas started with AmpBot Factory, which is, I guess, a decent choice now with the changes that AmpBot has had. What do you think, Manu? Manu12 is with me here in co-casting.
Hello. I think AmpBot is a really interesting choice on this map because there are still quite a lot of flat parts, which especially hovers in this case can abuse because they can move way faster than the bots. But there are still some ponds where you can't really defend without placing a lot of daggers, for example. So
Yeah, I think like before I used to think that like ducks were kind of bad against defenses and archers were did too little damage against the defenses. But now ducks have pretty decent DPS, so they're decent against defenses now, and they can kind of go hand to hand with daggers. Like daggers will lose straight up in a fight if they engage equal amounts, but daggers are much faster than ducks, so they can still outmaneuver the ducks and overwhelm them if you play it right.
yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it looks here like, yeah, we see the first raiding here, and you can see that, yeah, one duck is holding off two ducks against 4 daggers. The daggers would win, but they have to fight uphill.
Yeah,
so,
DeinFreund isn't really keeping his daggers together, which is a big problem for him right now, but I think he should be able to get the 2 ducks now.
yeah, he got 1 duck, but it's like, yeah, like if the enemy has lotus turrets, you need a lot of daggers to like go in and kill it. Like 4 daggers against 1 lotus turret here, that's not like cost effective. Like you're barely gonna be able to kill the lotus turret here. Probably.
Thomas is kind of playing defensive right from the start, building a lotus in his base and on the sides right away before the maxes, which I typically don't do because I have units nearby. But in this case, DeinFreund really didn't pay attention and already lost 2 daggers in the East Lotus.
Yeah. I mean, he built the lotus turrets in his base before he spotted the enemy factory, so I don't know what he was expecting. Yeah, I'd say, like, oh, here comes DeinFreund. He's gonna overwhelm this defense now. Like you can see here, you should probably like hold fire daggers so he can go in and just burst down the towers. Now he still loses 2 daggers, but he could probably have gotten away with just losing 1. But that's the thing, yeah.
Yeah, especially now when the more daggers are coming in, he should definitely go for hold fire. Now they're wasting their shots on the metal extractors.
Yeah.
Even if you force fire on the lotus itself, they still waste a couple of shots and daggers died which didn't have to die.
Yeah. So yeah, and they also had no radar, so we can really intercept them with any ducks or anything, or make an extra lotus turret in time. Like if you just have a radar up, you can typically get at least 1 turret down, like 1 lotus turret down. Yeah. I'm at 406. Where are you?
I'm at 350.
Okay, I will wait a little bit for you then. Tell me when you are at 410.
Hey guys, sorry that I drove you away so harshly. That was impolite of me. Anyone here?
Oh, I had to mute him.
Now I'm at 410.
Okay, cool. We're making a replay here in Mumble, so please don't disturb us, okay? And you can see here that he went in with the ducks and he didn't really do much here. But he killed 2 limpets and that's decent. And he's also trying to raid, like Thomas is trying to raid here against DeinFreund. But yeah, then when the daggers have the numbers, they can overwhelm the ducks. So yeah. So I pretty, like, not a very good trade for Thomas up there in DeinFreund space.
Yeah, but DeinFreund is actually building quite a lot of Lotus turrets now in his base because he's scared that he will get attacked from the sides again.
Yeah, it feel personally I think it's a bit excessive.
Yeah,
like,
especially when you have those daggers and the bowlers out now.
Yeah. Like he built 2 Ray Stardust. That is very, like, that's, how much is Ray Stardust? Like 300 or 400?
220 per Stardust.
Yeah, but he's also raising
the
it.
terraform is like 80, so yeah, 300.
Yeah, that's pretty that's a lot of defenses. Like if you just put a few, you can just put a dagger on the side and put it on like a selection rank, low selection rank, and then it will basically spot all incoming units from that way. So then you don't have to build so much defense. Yeah. And here was 4 ducks against 1 Lotus tourist, and they kill it. Like you can't rely on daggers to do the same, because daggers have so much less DPS. But yeah. So I say amboss are pretty viable in this map now, and you can see here that DeinFreund is going up this, trying to go up this hill, but it has actually been blocked off. The metal extractor has been raised, so instead of going for a raised startup, he raised the ground around the metal extractors instead, which is also an interesting choice.
I don't really like this because you are still being threatened in your own territory. With real defense you can actually fight back and pressure the enemy to not stay in your side territory.
Yeah.
But it works.
Yeah, I'd say it's too early to do it. Like 2 Lotus turrets would probably have done the same and almost killed most of the units. So yeah. And you can see here there's a lot of ducks coming in against daggers. And yeah, and a few bolas. But yeah, you can see the ducks are pretty good now, so they easily clean up the daggers and the bolas. Like it's, as a hover player, if you're facing an equal amount of ducks, it's kinda actually hard to like make cost in these low scale engagements. Even if you have like a maze even.
The real problem that daggers have against ducks is that they need 4 shots to kill them.
Yeah.
While the ducks just need 3.
Yeah.
So they can actually pretty easily win in a direct fight. So that's why DeinFreund needs to abuse his speed advantage and try to push on the sides more and get more economy.
Yeah.
Or switch to heavier units soon.
Yeah.
And we are already seeing that he is building an airplane plant.
Yeah.
And Thomas is building gunships.
Yeah. And you can see the ducks going in against the defenses, but are they not even gonna manage to kill a single mix? Okay, they kill 2 mixes, but yeah, not really worth it, but yeah, you're still pressuring the opponent, so I guess it's fine. And yeah, what do you prefer in this situation? Do you prefer gunships like Thomas is making low cost, and DeinFreund is making what? 2 raider planes and then Phoenix?
I really like gunships more than air, but that's mostly because it suits my playstyle. I like to raid the side maxes which are barely protected by like 1 or 2 lotuses and can really run around the enemy.
Yeah.
But if you spot them early enough, you can easily shut them down with air unless you switch to trident soon.
Yeah.
Air is more of a supportive kind of factory, which really needs the fast raiders and really likes even more DPS heavy raiders with the Thunderbird.
Yeah.
So I don't really see how it works out well with daggers.
Yeah.
because of their low DPS. But let's see how those locos are going to be used.
You saw them die, didn't you?
Yeah, I see them getting slaughtered.
Wait, am I ahead of you again? Are you sure you're playing at the right speed?
I'm at 9 now.
What? That's funny. I'm at 9:30. How?
I am
Can you check
not
your
sure.
Can you check your speed plus
I'm
mine?
at 1.
You're at 1. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so tell me when you're at 9:30. You can see the gunships dying there, like.
Yeah, he just suicided them into all those hovercrafts. Now I'm at 9:30.
Yes. So that was really poor selection, target selection by Thomas.
I would probably immediately retreated in this situation just because there were bowlers nearby and DeinFreund was already building his first flails.
Yeah. Like if he had gone for the commander first, he might have gotten it, but he would probably still have lost most of his gunships. So, or even arguably then it wouldn't have been worth it. But now DeinFreund even got to keep his commander, which is that was a big waste. Oh, here we can see ducks against swifts.
Which is probably not going to work out for the swifts.
Actually, DeinFreund has set his swifts on retreat at 65%, which means if they take a hit, they're gonna go and repair. That's okay, I guess. Like, that's a pretty good thing you can do with swifts. Like, you put them on retreat at like 30 or 65%, and then they're gonna boost by themselves into the back and repair by themselves as soon as they get below that threshold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Both are pretty equal right now.
Yeah.
I mean, DeinFreund has this reclaim field on his side now, in his base and near his commander, but it seems like Thomas has an army advantage right now.
Yeah, well, it's only local at this point.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of pressure in the mid right now.
Yeah.
Which is kinda scary for this commander. I'm
Let's
worried that
see
he's
this.
going to die soon.
Yeah. The Phoenix comes in and it makes a run, kills one duck and hurts a lot. Yeah, the commander is pretty exposed. Like, I would probably have gone in with these ducks against the commander. Like, especially since you have the limpets. The limpets are gonna slow everything down. So I would probably have gone in against these defenses and killed the commander. Yeah, you could easily have killed the command with these ducks. And the limpets as well.
Ooh, Thomas is going for a crow. This is definitely going to hurt a lot.
I don't like crow that much against hovers because basically all their units are flex AA, except the halberd, I guess. But otherwise, all units can, and the claymore maybe. But otherwise, all the units can hit the crow, so I don't like crow that much against hover. That's also a reason I don't like gunships against hover that much, because yeah, almost all of the units are flex AA.
I think the main problem that Amphib has in this matchup is that it doesn't really have any late game options. Usually you'd want to spam Grizzly very soon, but Harvest can just go for lands and shred them to pieces.
I think Grizzlies are fine. Actually, that's my preferred choice against hover, because yeah, a Grizzly it can take 2 shots and then need a third from a lance to die. Like, you don't really want to spam lances because they can easily get run over or killed by air. And you can also cloak the Grizzlies. Like, if you cloak the Grizzlies once he has 2 or 3 or 4 lances, then it's hard to actually kill it. Oh, here comes the crowd. And all the lances are repairing, and the commander is low on health. Oh, one lance hits. and he gets 1 lance and the commander. Yeah, DeinFreund wasn't ready at all for that.
Yeah, he is going to have a dead commander soon.
Yeah. Wait, am I ahead again? How?
Why? At what time are you?
13:48?
I don't know why. 0k is weird. I'm like 10 seconds behind.
Okay. I'm gonna try 0.9 speed just because. Tell me when you're at 13:40.
At 1350 am.
Are you at 13:50?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So... I mean, I think the Crow is a decent unit on this map. It's hard, like... Especially... Like, you can go on different flanks and get attacked from different angles where there's less AA. And you can go across the hills and avoid the ground AA and outmaneuver the ground AA. Yeah, so I think Grizzly works really well against hovers. Like at a point when the enemy has 2 or 3 lances, you can also have area cloaker, and then the hover player has to like wait really carefully and have line of sight to the Grizzlies to actually get hits on them. Once you have an area cloaker with the Grizzlies, so.
Thomas decides against it and now goes even for a second crow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think.
I think at this point it's actually mostly just an economy advantage for Thomas. I don't really see many misplays from either side. I mean, yes, you should probably not kill your bombers in AA, but it's now going to be very hard to stop Thomas attacks.
Did you see the crowd coming in and bombing the airpad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It nearly got the Lyco.
Yeah.
Which was a nice idea, but he could have probably waited a little bit longer so he can be over the Lyco to actually kill it with the bombs.
Yeah, probably. But at least now DeinFreund managed to finish off the crowd. That was good for him. Like the lance helped and the flails also did a lot of the job. So I'd say that crow didn't make cost. I'd say the other crow probably hasn't made cost yet. I mean, it's pretty rare that you make cost with a crow in the first round, I think. Usually you have to go back and repair before you actually make cost with it, I'd say.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I usually don't build crow in 1v1 situations. It's very hard to make cost with it, and repairing is usually taking so much time, which you should spend harassing your enemy.
Yeah. But again, you're also forcing out AA, which is kinda useless against... Yeah, because you probably start making other gunships now. So it's like... You're also forcing them to spend metal on AA. Will they manage to save this lance? It looks like the Limpets will get it. Yeah, the Limpets get it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any particular effective Limpet usage. It feels like, yeah. And here comes the Crow again, and it's going deep against all these units and defenses.
He will probably lose it.
I think it's gonna escape, just barely. Like he has some ducks here, so DeinFreund can't really follow. Maybe should still follow them and sacrifice units.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but the Limpet helps, slows them down, and yeah, he's killing some of them here. Like, yeah, that's a pretty good play by Thomas.
Yeah.
That's the thing when you're using like flails. or most AA really. Like, typically AA is just a little bit slower than the Crow, so you're like, hey, should I try to stay in the range of the Crow and just be as close as possible? And then you're like undecisive, and then you end up at the furthest range, so you don't take damage, and then you don't finish the Crow off before it retreats. Pretty typical. Oh, he's gonna bomb the Crow.
And he will probably get it. No, why? Why didn't he bomb the Crow?
Yeah, maybe he thought it had higher hit points or something. Like, yeah. Like, it can be sometimes when you're trying to hit something and it's being repaired, and it's like, oh damn it, it's too repaired now to kill it.
What would you do in DeinFreund situation right now?
Let's see. I would probably like... He's making lances, but I don't know why he's making lances. Like, there's no good targets for lances. Also, I would probably like have a bit more mobile AA, either Swifts or Raptors, just to be able to force away the Crows and kill these locals faster. Like, in Raiden, his base hurt pretty much, and that was because he was lacking AA and lost his flames as well. So.
Yeah, but now he even gets pressured in mid.
Yeah. So yeah.
I think you probably have to go for maces at some point, just because Ducks are winning against most of the units in hover.
Yeah. I mean, if you get them a line of maces, they would do pretty well, I think. I don't think you can counter that. I don't really know how well Limpets and Ducks counter maces, like in heavy masses. But like yeah, DeinFreund has a cloaker, and having a cloaker means that you can just... The enemy doesn't know how many maces you got, and suddenly you're on top of him, and your maces are all killing his Ducks, and he has barely any time to respond, and you just keep pushing forward and forward. And then comes the Crow, and you're gonna try to push away the maces, and suddenly there's like 10 maces in there, and the lance shooting the Crow, and suddenly like the Crow is dead.
Yeah.
So I mean, a cloaker field is like maces and cloakers. It's really good. Like, you can go against a lot of stuff with that. I remember when maces used to be a bit better. It basically ended up in mace spam, and then you cloak the maces and you just push out to the map. It was, yeah. And he lost his iris there.
Yeah.
So yeah, really as maces, I think, because yeah, like Thomas has been spamming these Ducks all the time.
And now he's even building a paladin.
Yeah.
Which is kinda a meme, I think, because 10 pound metal is usually enough to just win the game.
Yeah. You can almost get a nuke for that, or you can have 5 grizzlies. Like, you can have 3 grizzlies out and doing stuff, or while you get up to 5, and you can do so much with 10,000 metal. Like, I guess you don't seem to like the grizzlies against the lances too much. Maybe Thomas has the same feeling, and maybe he feels like a paladin will counter lances because, yeah. Having the number of lances to take down a paladin is not likely, like, yeah.
I mean, lances are really hard to kill without air, in my opinion, because you cannot just them so far in the back that it's very hard to kill them if you don't have raiders which push through. Especially when you have such a clustered middle where just units are going back and forth, there is usually no real way to push through them.
Well, I've never had that experience in 1v1. Like, I had some pork games where the enemy started where I have a lot of pork, and the lancers just come out and kill all the stingers, and you're like stuck in between the pork, and then it's hard to deal with lancers, I think. But in a more dynamic situation like this, when you're having the front line moving all the time and you have raiders in the front moving back and forth, I don't think lances are that good in 1v1. But you agree that here comes against a crowd in his base. He's gonna get the crowd. Oh, this
Oh, he like on his own day. No. That's one of the reasons why people don't like building raptors.
Yeah.
They just tend to cluster so close to each other
Yeah.
that you can even like your own raptors.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, and now DeinFreund feel like he can finish off the crowd with just 1000 HP, but it's getting repair. So how low? It gets down to 900, so not quite. That's the thing, I don't know what it is, but it's so easy to misjudge like how easy it is to kill a crowd. You're just going in and trying to kill it, but then you end up just barely getting it, and you're sacrificing all your AA. Yeah, but it's fun to see, like, yeah, him leeching his own raptors, and which just actually makes the crow survive. But yeah, DeinFreund retook the middle. I guess it's mostly because his paladin is 10,000 metal.
Yeah, it's a really heavy investment where you don't have much pressure at all.
Yeah, and DeinFreund lost his low health Liko carelessly because he was trying to finish off the crowd, while it has been in repair for like, yeah, a minute or 30 seconds or something. Yeah, like, yeah. If it gets to retreat, it will survive basically. It's like a sunken cost fallacy. Yeah, he's gonna send in more AA, trying to finish it up, but now it's already up to 7,000 HP. That's way too late, and way too few raptors.
I don't understand why DeinFreund isn't trying to rush an ultimatum when he sees that the paladin is finished.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, this is the easiest way, in my opinion, to kill a paladin.
Yeah. Also, he had a small army and he kind of left it there, and now he lost both his lances, which was kind of unnecessary. Like, as soon as he saw that paladin, he should have just retreated with his small army.
Yeah.
And that's all. Like, DeinFreund has been losing his AA piecemeal against the crowd a lot, and now he's losing his army piecemeal to the paladin. Like, to keep a paladin safe, you don't need that many raiders. Like, you just need to keep them around the paladin, and it's pretty safe. And then you can let the paladin skirmish around and go into like 500 range or something.
Yeah, but Thomas doesn't seem to care about this at all. And wants to push with his paladin into the enemy.
Yeah. A paladin is really not a riot.
It's a reason why it's called ranged support strider.
Yeah. And the crow is pushing upwards, and the raiders. So now the paladin is completely without support.
While the paladin is probably going to die,
Yeah.
DeinFreund still had to sacrifice most of his army.
Yeah. Like, it's getting slowed and surrounded by daggers. But the limp is coming. They're gonna slow down everything. Now everything is slowed down, kinda. And also DeinFreund, like in this situation, you want to clean up the raiders first. Because now DeinFreund is focusing all his damage on the paladin that's slowed. It's not doing a lot of damage. These ducks, like these 5 ducks, are probably doing more damage than the paladin right now.
Yeah. And now he is kind of forced to kill the paladin.
Yeah, but he should kill the raiders
can't-
first.
Yeah, he can't seem to finish it because the lances can no longer get close enough. And that's kinda game over.
Yeah, if he doesn't kill
When the
this
paladin
paladin.
is repaired, there's no real way to come back into this game.
Yeah,
Now that he sacrificed most of his army.
yeah.
He should have, in my opinion, definitely gone for an ultimatum.
Yeah, I mean it's standard procedure, I think, like against a paladin. You try to force him in, and the way that Thomas was using how recklessly he was using his paladin, it would have died to an ultimatum. But it were not to be.
And now it feels like Thomas is basically just walking through the parts of DeinFreund's expansion.
Yeah. And he's trying to bomb the paladin, but that just means he loses his ravens. And here comes the scorpion. It stuns the army a bit. And it's taking a lot of damage, but it also means that the ducks can do their damage. But it dies in the end, but the rest of the army is killed for DeinFreund.
I think DeinFreund's main problem was that he underestimated the power of the ducks.
Yeah. The power of the duck side. Quack quack.
They will hunt you down.
Yeah. Looks like you failed the duck hunt. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you had like cloak maces would have dealt with the ducks easily, and that would have forced Thomas to switch into something else.
Yeah, he probably would have gone for Brews, but even then, with cloaked maces you can kinda get close, but with Brews, when they slow the maces, they are dead.
Yeah. But it's kind of like if you're advancing, if you have more maces than enemy and you're advancing against the boys, yeah, one mace is gonna get slowed, but then the other maces are gonna continue. So. But yeah, it depends. Like if you have an equal cost in boys, they're probably gonna counter the maces pretty well, even if they're cloaked. So, and DeinFreund left the game.
Yeah. I mean, they were basically equal for most of the game, but just at the end, you can't really see it properly in the statistics because Thomas was building the paladin, but Thomas was getting ahead in the mid game where he just did have more strength in his ducks than DeinFreund is in his scalpels and bolas and daggers.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I agree. So yeah, thank you for co-casting with me.
It was nice to join you.
Yeah. I hope to do it again sometime soon.
Probably. We will see.
Okay, GG.
GG.